Call to order, roll call.
Brunner,
Here.
Nadowski,
Here.
Rasmussen.
Here.
Second on our agenda, approve minutes from March 14th, 2016.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from March 14.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Citizen appearances? There are none. Engineer report.
Change order number 3, I believe, was last month.
Did we have that on there last month?
Thought it was.
Oh, we've got the,
I know we only had one or the other on one of these meetings where we didn't have both.
we didn't have, on last month's Public Works, we did not.
Okay, but then change order number 3 is up for,
We just had the payment request. There was no change in the notes here from the 14th. It's got pay request number 9 down there.
do you have
Right.
a copy of the change order?
I do, yeah.
Let me just see it real quick. Okay, then it should be on there. These are the, all the work change directives that have already been approved. If there's any questions, I can go through them.
What are the big hitters on there?
4 and 6 inch water main remove and replace. That's in the area of some of the entranceway.
Yeah.
That there was some water main that was some of the older water main that was unknown where it was. We ran that water main. There was thought to be 2 water mains going up towards Agri-Pierce building, and we found out that there was only one, and that was every time they dug around it or it got near it, it was so old that it cracked and broke. And instead of just putting repair clamps everywhere all the way through it, they gave us a cost to replace new water main all the way up to the bend where it goes out towards the highway.
Okay.
And it went 4 inch to 6 inch, I
Yes.
think back to 4 and up and down and not great.
There was a yard hydrant extension out by the sled storage building that we had them replacing the yard hydrant, but it was a yard hydrant that was put in, and it was like about 9 to 10 feet deep. So what we did is we had them, they replaced it,
Yeah.
and then they put an extension on to bring it up to grade.
Yep. Okay.
Because there's no way to know how deep those are until you have them opened up. Temporary power feed and duct bank removal. What that was is there was some duct banks that were coming through the excavation area where the manholes are located, where we're replacing the manholes. And as they were marked through Digger's Hotline, they were marked as cables, and they were actually duct banks. And when the contractor came in and started digging around them, they had more concern. They didn't have a concern with digging around them. They had a concern working under them
Safety
and
concern that
safety
they
concerns.
Oh.
basically mandated that they would be addressed.
Right. So they had to do additional work to move them out of the way of the trench in order to do the work that we had to do, and that was right where we were tying in all our manholes that were close to a very small area, congested area, and for safety of their employees, they made some changes to move those around.
Okay.
I don't know what a duck bank is.
It's anyway, they can be any size, but their duct banks are where they put all the conduit in a square, 3 across, 3 down, and fill it in,
Made of
and then it's all
concrete,
they
right,
can
or-
run all their cabling through it, and it's like
Like a big piece
Chase.
of conduit.
yeah,
Chase.
it's a chase, it's a huge conduit, but it's got a bunch of
D-U-C-T,
different
not
areas.
D-U-C-K, yeah.
Okay, that explains it. Thank
Yeah.
you.
The Hunter News coming out of it.
Structures 12 and 65, they had some handrails that they deleted through the project that felt were not needed, with some changes. 4-inch filtrate line repair. Don, you have to help me. Was that one that was broken?
That's a good question.
I can check on that one.
Filtrate line repair. Yeah, it's possible that got broken. Or I believe, didn't they have to cut through it to put the storm?
I'd have to double check on that one.
I think that was.
Additional bollards at structure 12's generator pad. What that was is where the generator, the pad mounted generators on the backside. They put additional bollards around there to protect it from being hit by any equipment.
Oh,
And the
yeah,
state
that's-
mandated it though too, I think.
Yep.
It's an area where there is no roadway, but
Either
it's
way,
enough
it's a
where a
good
car
move.
could have got through, yeah.
Either
yeah.
way, it's a good move.
Way in the
Yeah.
back.
What was it, $70,000 generator last we went, so we
Right.
backing into the damn
Yep.
thing.
Yep,
Structure 12, the UV bypass. What I think that was operational issue.
Yeah, because the way it was originally designed, there would have been no way for us to drain the tank and remain operational at all. So we requested that we get a couple of bypass valves and gates put in so that we can do maintenance on that tank and still maintain operation.
yeah, and that UV is the final, it's the disinfection, it's the final treatment part of the process before we discharge to the
And
river there yet. And
There's
if
only
we'd
one
shut
way
it
in and
down,
one way out.
Yeah.
So
this was to
a bypass,
get a bypass.
was needed, so we could have options for maintenance on that.
4 and 6 inch air piping repairs. Is that the repairs?
those were
in your,
leaky air
Yeah,
pipes.
blowers.
lower aeration basins?
Yep, and
Existing portion of the treatment plant that was not part of the upgrade, that there's some of the piping was deteriorated, and while you had those guys on site, they took care of the work.
Okay.
Generator pad, there's an extended warranty that they provided for us because of the fill material and so forth, where they excavated and put the new lines are a little closer than anticipated, so we asked them for additional warranty for any settlement or any changes in the trench compaction and so forth, so they gave us an extended warranty at no cost. And then structure 40 equipment, there was a pad that they did some beveling around the concrete pad for protection.
yeah, that was from the old bell press. The curbing, once they took the curbing out, there was still a fillet in there from having the drain in, which left a severe angle. So to remove the tripping hazard, we had them bevel the edges off and
Grind them off.
grind them down.
Okay.
All right. Makes sense.
So the change order is for $47,744.72.
Great. Well, I'll make a motion to approve the change order number 3 for $47,744.72.
I'm just doing some here real quick for you. Pay request on this is at 0.5%.
Change orders.
Change orders,
um,
excuse me,
compared
change
to
orders,
the contingency, yeah.
yeah, is 0.5%, so.
Half of them have been from us, too.
Getting pretty exorbitant.
Yeah. I think half of them have been for us, just things that you guys have picked up. over
So that's
the
change,
years, so that's good.
that's change
Yeah,
order.
good.
And then the pay request is on there. Again, the pay request is also.
Well, we got a motion,
Oh,
I
for
got a
the
motion,
for
you're
the
waiting
change
for a
order.
second yet on that change order.
I'll second
okay,
the change order number 3.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
thank you.
Okay, on to pay request number 10, for the contract is in the amount of $407,644.19. That one is also contingent upon receiving lien waivers, final liens and so forth before Patrick releases that. So if there's any questions, we're at about 90% of the contract right now.
Just as a question, Bruce, you know what lien waivers are? Want to explain that to them?
Lien waivers are sheets of paper that subcontractors sign off saying they've been paid for the work they've completed to date through the previous pay request. So when we release a check to them for last pay request, they have to provide us lien waivers before we'll release the next one that they've paid all their subs to date. And subs put they sign it, they notarize it, and they have a dollar amount in there. And we track every pay request that they have to provide those, or else we don't release the check.
Right.
That's the same for the city hall contract. We've held on to the pay request for a little while,
The
because
idea
they
is-
haven't got them to us.
Until it's done.
And well, until they can prove that they've been paid for last time, we just don't want at the end somebody to come back and say, "Well, hey, you owe me $500,000 yet," and it looks like we paid everything. So this is pay request number 10. We just released 2 weeks ago number 8, so we're sitting on number 9. Number 10's yet to be reviewed yet, but
Okay.
so we pay them last month. They need to tell us that they paid everyone that was supposed to get paid,
Oh, yeah.
and then we'll release the next check then.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
That's a motivator for them to contact their subcontractors and get those in, isn't it?
It is.
Well, and it
That is
covers
a
our
motivator.
butts too.
Yeah,
And
it's
to pay
been, it's been a process.
Trying. Just one item
Say
on
that.
on that contract was, startup is, a lot of the equipment's being started up right now with Don. It's in it's in process, moving along, so this one here is June is the completion time. So a lot of the equipment that they brought in and buildings they've built, all that stuff is, right now, we're in the process of starting up and getting it moving. So it's on schedule.
Yep.
If not a little bit ahead, you know.
Yeah, for the most part, most of the plant is online. The new stuff is working. They're bringing in, this week, LW Allen is here, I think through Wednesday, working on getting gas detectors and other things calibrated. So a lot of the plant is already up. And like Thad said, we're starting up this week. We started up the press. The new press is up and running. We're going through training on that. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday. Training for UV is on Wednesday this week. Training on new blowers is Thursday. So a lot of stuff is happening here in the next 2 weeks, and that to get that plant up and running.
We're balancing too. This time of year is the time when we start to get out from winter and try to get a lot of work done.
For you?
But because we also have the $6 million plant that's coming online, we're trying to get as much of our staff trained as we can too.
Oh, sure.
And so we're trying to videotape some of the training, trying to get videos of training. But ideally we'd have everyone sit in on all the training so that everybody's got a good idea.
And that's what we're
that's the
trying to do
balancing
whenever
part.
possible.
So, but
Training plant's going along okay. I mean,
Yeah.
relatively well.
problem is that's been very muddy and it's been kind of a big mess. So we haven't been able to just go down there and tour all of that.
Yeah, I
But
was
what we're
wondering
thinking
when the
is
tour would be when it
probably
dries
in
up,
May it starts to clean up. A little
They'll
bit
be
better.
paving and finishing the site work early May,
Yeah.
and then paving and curb and guttering and getting that cleaned up so it'll look like a bomb didn't go off. Because it looked like that for a while.
Yeah. It's been
Yeah.
pretty sloppy.
Okay, so that's the update on the treatment plant.
All right.
Municipal building parking lot reconstruction.
Did we get a motion on? We need a
On the pay
motion on the
request.
pay
Yeah,
request.
make
Well,
a motion to
Head of the game today.
pay request number 10 for $407,644.19.
Is that pending?
Contingent on lien waivers.
Oh, contingent upon lien waivers.
Yep.
Usually good about remembering that.
You are.
Forgot this time.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Keeps that at all our meetings, he keeps moving them along.
Yeah.
On the municipal building parking lot and the other miscellaneous items we have, just to skip the first one, we'll get into that, but the pre-construction meeting is Thursday this week. Contractors coming in, we'll sit down and talk with them about everything that needs to go on, get scheduling, they all know the importance of getting started and getting done and getting out of here.
Who did it go to?
Vinton.
Vinton?
Vinton. It changed with Vinton just with the alternate for the retaining wall.
That's what I thought, yeah.
And then construction as of right now is anticipated to start April 25th. That whole parking lot back there will be shut down, closed out. Vinton has a crew big enough. They do a lot of work. They're going to come in, they're going to hit it, and they're going to get out of here. So it's going to go pretty quick. Discussion on the parking lot. Colored concrete. Remember, if you remember, in between the island, we had colored concrete being placed.
When we awarded it, we talked a little bit about this too, where with
Yeah.
the second low bidder, it was more of like a $2,000 credit.
Right.
And Vinton, it's not as much of a credit.
It's in this area right here. This island here has colored concrete, then opening, colored concrete, and opening. We alternated through. The difference for Vinton was approximately $1.90 a square foot, and there's about 200 square feet, so a $380 difference if we want to take it out and do it as regular grade concrete versus colored. The colored concrete is to match the coloring that you asked for out in the street, and that's what we've told them we want done. We just need to know to let them know at the pre-con if we're leaving it in or taking it out.
I think first time we heard it was like $1,800 or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's,
It was, easy.
Yeah.
It was very easy to
that
shoot
wasn't-
down the first time.
I think,
Yeah.
I think for $300, leave it so it matches everything, you know.
Well, that's the difference. That's what you're gonna save.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's the cost, for the colored
It's already built
concrete.
in for the color.
It's already built into the bid.
Okay.
I say
Okay.
we
so
just
if
leave
it's
it in
red,
there
it's
then.
gonna be, have the, pressed in there to look like cobblestone as well?
No, it's not, it's not a
No,
pressed
it's just-
concrete, it's just a colored concrete, and they'll finish it off with a broom finish.
That looks sharp though too. I
Yeah.
mean, that's still,
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
you know.
I say we just leave it in. It'll look nice. Give it a little bit of differentiation there.
Let me just, it's,
It's,
You still
That's
gotta
why they're
paint,
putting the broom finish.
still gotta put the, paint the curb yellow or anything like that? Is there any?
the
You have to
difference,
do
the
that?
difference is, let me just go back, the difference is there's 435 square feet, at $1.90 is just about $800. That's what you guys talked about.
Yep,
That's what
we talked about that number.
And then the difference with the other low bidder, there was a larger difference. $4.50
That's what I
is,
thought.
it was $1,700
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay.
So we just, leave it in, that's what we base bid, that's what we propose to do the work.
Yeah,
So,
you'd have to take action to try to take it out if you wanted to change it, and so if
We'd
you
have to
wanna
write
leave it
change
in, you
order.
can just leave it. I
Yep.
mean, you can leave it if that's what you'd prefer.
Yeah, at this point.
we just wanna bring it forward because there's not gonna be another meeting and they'll
It'll
probably
it'll
be
there and done
50%
May.
in to the
Yep.
project.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be finished by the time we have another meeting.
Yes. Then there has been just a question on additional paving in the back. And Patrick's working on that, and hopefully we'll have more information
So
at the
Steve's-
pre-con to
Steve,
give them an idea. There, again, we did have a bid item in there for doing that work.
Getting
that
around.
graveled area.
Oh, the
Back at the stores, Steve Levy wants to do, the other day he told me to do it all. I said, well, you don't know all that land. He said, just don't worry about it. I want it done.
yeah.
One of those.
So what we need to know is,
Yeah. Yeah.
by the pre-con, we now have an idea. And the reason I ask for that is because when they come in and start pulling out asphalt, they're gonna wanna take out all the asphalt that's there.
Yeah.
And then we also wanna make sure that,
You only
that
wanna
we
grade it
see
once,
how it
right?
drains and how it drained before versus how it drains when we get done, because all of a sudden if the water puddles somewhere, someone's gonna say, you guys caused this. We wanna make sure that when we get in there, before they start pulling asphalt out, that we've shot that and we know what it was prior to. If you're not gonna do anything, we're not gonna do any shots in there.
Well, and it's gravel now, and it's big holes now that hold water.
Yeah, like
So-
3-foot holes. So.
The guy that wants the extra said he was gonna either be at that meeting and be available for that meeting.
Well, you should
Or
get with Patrick beforehand, though,
somewhere,
just to
eh?
make sure.
Yeah, and
that
that's
you got
so.
an
Then
idea.
the other piece too is that the contractor typically is going to be inclined to try to work with us or add it into our contract so that they get paid. Nothing against Steve, but a lot of times they don't want to have to try to screw around and collecting from.
And the one
The
thing I
neighbors
wanted,
too, you know.
the one thing I wanna make sure of is we had a bid item in there for the work,
Yep.
and.
They gave us a rate as
and-
part of
yeah,
the bid.
Right, and you go in there and if he goes to ask the contractor to do it, sometimes contractors are coming more expensive, and then we're already getting close to finishing or leaving out of here, and then they're gonna want it done. Patrick will talk with Steve, we just wanna, yay or nay, it's $15.39 a square yard, that's what we're doing.
Do you want it
Here's
or
our
not?
cost, do you want it or not? And then if we do, we need to paint it up so when the contractor comes in, he's good to go.
Yep.
It's easiest for everybody.
Well, and that's fair enough to offer somebody.
So that's what we're looking at there. And like I said, I'd like to know by the pre-con, because then if we've got to come out here and take some elevations and shots before they start ripping, I need to give my crew a week to do some of that, so.
Yep.
There's the cost, we're available to, do whatever we need to, but parking lot, the concrete will keep. Okay? So there are no, that was just updates for the municipal building parking lot.
Yep.
If anybody is interested in the pre-con, it's 1:00 on Thursday this week. You should have gotten a flyer on that.
I think I did.
The wastewater treatment plant certified survey map, just to update on that. We're ready to to finalize that, the only thing is we're waiting for one easement from We Energies for the new service that they ran into the building, the new building, because we want to show every easement that's required, that's out there right now on the CSM. We've got, Patrick's been able to wrangle up all the other easements, we have all those in there, but we're just waiting on that, and when We Energies gets it to us, you know, it would be a week to couple days, we'll have it turned around, done, out. Then, and what that is just a CSM, we tied everything the city owns together into one unit.
Right, the two, because
Two.
then it
We had lot
identifies
one,
the
lot
second
two.
lot
That's
to
gonna
be sold or
To be.
considered to be sold.
right.
Yeah.
To be continued as
Yeah.
well.
To be continued.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Thad.
Okay, moving on to number 5 on the agenda, discussion and possible action on potential used dump truck purchase.
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick and then I'll probably defer to the mayor and council member elect, Mr. Gage. As I run my kids to daycare, I run down 96 quite often and came across in the last week and a half this dump truck parked out at Dale Oil and Gas. And we had been talking, I talked with the mayor over the last couple of months on getting quotes on getting our own dump truck. And a dump truck of this size and stature with the wing and everything on it, brand new, we're looking into the $130,000, $140,000 range. Very basic in that price range. These trucks, there were 2 of them. One of them was sold, and it's Johnson Concrete out of, they say Fremont, but it's
Todd
in,
Johnson.
that's right, in the Reedfield, Dale area. But what he does is he does the plowing for the town of Dale. And these trucks here, he had 2 of them he's selling in order to get a larger truck. But I had alerted the mayor about this, and as Mr. Gage works for the county, is very familiar with these trucks, plows in the city already, so has an idea of what's required in town. They had I had actually talked to the guy that owns the truck, and I'll probably defer to you guys to talk a little bit more about it, but where a new truck is 130, 140 grand, this one is 15 years old, appears to be in really good shape, and he's asking $24,500. Now, we could use a plow, but more importantly, we could use a dump truck. Because every time we want to move something, even at the yard waste site, we call Fox, and it's about $5,000 a trip every time they pick up material and move it. For $24,000, you can start to do the math just on hauling alone.
Yeah.
That it seems that if everything checks out on the mechanics and mechanical of the truck, it's probably a good idea to pursue it.
Do we have somebody that's already licensed to drive it that works for the city?
On this size, this is very close to being.
Bruce can teach him.
So could you?
The licensing, I don't know, this is right on the edge of whether you have to have a CDL on the weight. And it depends on how you license it. And I think the magic number is 26,000
Yeah,
I think
pounds.
you're probably gonna have, that's got air brakes on it and stuff.
Air
Okay.
brakes, yeah.
yeah.
If we would look to do that, we'd be looking at a class on that.
Hey, that don't
Not-
take too
not a
much.
whole lot.
That don't take much to get that.
Right.
Hell, I got one, I mean, you know.
Let anybody have one nowadays.
It's only got 132,000 on it. That's a big Cummins diesel in there?
Cat,
Or the Cat diesel?
cat,
You haven't even broke it in yet.
331.
You know, we've been talking about a dump truck, like he says, for a long time. And we really, right now, can't afford a $150,000 truck. This one pops up, it'll take care of 99% of what Don's got for problems.
We got a
And
place where
even
you
if
keep
we
it?
don't use the plow. But anyway, I got a hold of Bruce right away, cause he drives them
Yeah.
for a living for 25 years. We went and looked at it, he went back and looked at it, and today he went down, drove it and tested it, so tell him what you think, Bruce, go ahead.
Selling truck, there's a few problems. Well, it's old truck, you know. The plow's rusted just above the moldboard, but he said that's been that way since he's had it, hasn't rusted anymore, but we could take it to fabricator place, they could fix that easy enough. Tires, 70% on the tires, so that'll get you through this year, next year.
Oh,
Everything's on a joystick to lift the box, you just pick up on it, and the plow, push button for the wing, it's automatic transmission, so the person don't have to learn how to double clutch. So, the only suggestions I say, if you buy the passenger mirror don't work, or the window, it'll go down but won't go back up. Tail light, there's one tail light broke out, so if you tell the guy, make sure want all the lights fixed and maybe stick a new motor in that window. The heated mirrors,
You think it's worth the 24,000 though? Yeah,
it's
definitely.
a pretty solid truck. It's parked inside all the time. In the wintertime, for plows for Dale, so they parked it right inside. He says,
I know there's no
"Oil
rust or nothing
Can't have
on it.
no
It's
oil
nice.
Well, he
nice
said he
looking
don't have
truck.
no salt in it. The sander, he didn't have to run the sander, cause he just plowed in the town of Dale, did all the sanding. Salting.
How much work is it to take to drop the plow in the wing for use it for winter, summer hauling?
Front plow, would take out 2 pins,
Okay,
pull them out, put blocks underneath it and back away. In the wing, you take off the big bolt on the side, in the cable, and pull it right off.
okay, so you wouldn't be driving around all year with the,
Yeah.
No, they-
the wings on.
You guys got a place to put it?
not right now, but we're gonna build
And
a new one
on the
anyway.
box,
so-
there's a little rust in the box where the cap protector is welded onto it, comes up in the back. Well, a little bit of rust on there. But for that much money, you know, I could even fix that if they had to.
Couple things we can look at for garage spaces. I don't know that we have a idea on the length on this, whether that would fit into the treatment plant garage. We'd have to check that, and then the other part of it is we do have an agreement with the old Wolf River Sausage building
that's right,
on some
yeah.
storage inside, but those are not long-term solutions though.
Yeah. Does he got the big doors?
You got a house to tear
Yeah.
down by the dam, you could, which you're gonna
Yeah.
put your new garage in.
Well, that's,
Now you got something to put in it, so get cracking on the garage.
Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway, I think
I
all
mean,
we're looking at
He
is,
has two extra blades for it, he said he had.
Oh, nice.
excellent.
Yeah, I don't know if he was selling, but he said he had 2 of them.
sure. So
So
we,
see if you can buy them. But
This-
I would think
Sorry,
in the
Bruce.
future, maybe you can go over to carbites. That'll last you
Yeah.
all year, 2 years, that's what we all run now. Cause these here will wear out on you. And it's got a trip blade for the wing, which is good, cause I know when I come around and clean up my intersections, you know, your wing's gonna hit your curb, and it's got a flip on there.
Okay.
So you ain't gonna bust your curb with it,
the breakaway, yeah.
breakaway, spring loaded,
it's good too.
yeah.
Yeah.
This comes up a little bit quicker than what we were thinking, because with a brand new truck, you're looking out 10 to 12 months out when you order it. This, like I said, in the last week and a half here, I noticed this was out here. I had been talking to the guy last week too, told him obviously, he knows how the government works, that we've got to go through the committees. And he had a couple people that wanted to come from Michigan and other places out of town. He called me first and said, well, is there going to be any interest from the city? And I said, I think for sure there would be some interest in it. And without giving him any promises that we may get it approved, he had called off the other people that were coming to look at it for right now. Not that he's holding it for us, but it's essentially,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
holding it for a week here,
Yeah.
2 weeks.
At least so you can
For
find
that
it
price, I mean, this looks to be in good shape. I think it's a good thing that we've had people that went down there, were able to take a look at it and see that it's in good shape.
Well, I mean, Bruce uses them all the time, and if you're
Yeah,
saying it's
especially an
a
expert,
I
yeah.
good
mean, it's
deal.
I bet.
It-
Good timing. What the hell would I know?
I don't know.
Say, it has a wear and tear on it,
Yeah.
but you know, you can't buy much for $20,000, you know? I mean, a pickup truck with a plow on it, you can't touch for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a beast, so. Well, I'll make a motion for our administrator to negotiate the purchase of a said plow truck.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All
Don't get
oppo-
opposed.
Any opposed?
Well,
Motion carries.
He just really wants it.
I'll have, we'll probably talk here in the next few days, and then I'll have something we'll bring back to council next Tuesday night then for you guys, if that's okay.
Yep.
If that's good. And thank you for
And actually, he
looking
wants
into that
it,
too.
supposed to give him a call as soon as he can.
Yeah, well, we would, yeah, and that's what the negotiation part would be too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where I'll talk to you about lights and what,
Yeah.
how that'll work on what the request will be, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Okay, on agenda number 6, review 2016 utility budgets.
We are gonna put a hold on that until June. There's 2 items I'm looking at. One is sewer, as we are actively negotiating with our largest sewer customer. The budget right now, what I wanna carry over is 2015's budgets, because for sewer, I had that pretty conservatively estimated in the $860,000 range for revenue. We were running $100,000 to $140,000 over budget with revenue, which is a good thing. But in 2015, the loading fees or the loading fines, which I think we talked about last month at the finance committee, Agripier had fees of like $90,000 in 14, and it cut down to 10,000 in 15. So that's a drop in 80 grand.
Yeah.
For them, it's very good because they're running cleaner and better. But for us, the revenue drops by 80 grand. Thankfully, that's why we conservatively budget, so that our revenue is lower than what we sort of expected to be lower. With that, Agripier's been sending us more flow, so then they're paying for more of that flow too. But until we can get a better bead on where they're at with their flow moving forward, it's pretty tough right now on getting a new budget out there. And then on the water side, one of the things I'm looking at relates to the amount of money we make on the water utility. We're supposed to turn a profit. So when we borrow money, they set out a certain percentage that you need to be making as a profit, assuming that you're banking that money to reinvest it in the utility. Last year we came in, it was about $20,000. We made money, but we made $20,000 less than what they were expecting. There's 2 reasons. One is we were collecting $11,000 a year in tower rental. So Air Fire Mobile had a tower lease on the Mill Street Tower, and that company went out of business. And so we didn't have $11,000 in revenue. One of the other items we have is that we passed a water conservation ordinance, so we're promoting people to not use as much water, which on the back end then lowers the revenue too. We're hoping that they're more conservative, and with that then there's less to be used, less to be billed. The other item we ran into is sort of a rash of water main breaks, and to the tune of about $13,000 worth of breaks. 1 or 2 of them I think we had to fix multiple times. On East Wisconsin Street, we fixed it once and then we had to fix it again. So we didn't make $20,000. We've made $20,000 less than what we're expected to make. And what that means is that there will be a mark on our financial statements that says we didn't hit the number in 15. $20,000, but again, our revenue was down 11 and our unexpected water breaks were up 12,000. So it's a number that we can, I guess, explain, maybe not justify, but just explain that's the reason. One of the things we might be looking at is, contrary to what was in the paper a couple weeks ago, we haven't raised our water rates since 2011. There was a comment in there that said that we've raised them every year, but we haven't. So one of the things we may look at is, all of our costs, our debt goes up, our costs of running the utility go up, but our rates have stayed flat for water. So our auditors may be recommending that we look at potentially seeking a 3% increase, which is an easier process through the Public Service Commission,
Very easy.
or a more in-depth rate review. Now, we reviewed our sewer rates, but we did not go through and review our water rates. But it's very important that we throw out there that they haven't gone up since 2011. So
that's already in process of being corrected?
we have not yet, but we're looking at
Is
which
that
way
the
should we
county
go.
post, or what is that? Who put that out?
It was a campaign statement, I will say, and being someone that used to run for office in a different life, I know how that goes too, so I'll leave it at that. But I just wanted to clarify that we haven't raised our water rates in 5 years at least, so.
Right, you're actually undocumented media stating that.
Yeah.
It's been stated by you in black and white on an article that I had read.
Yep.
So
And I
it's,
don't, yeah, I just wanna make sure we clarify that, so that's one of the
Okay.
things we're looking
that
at.
was good to do for the record.
Mm-hmm, yep, I think it's fair.
Okay.
So that's what I have on the utility budgets. Again, we're working under the 2015 numbers, but we're just identifying water revenue, making sure that we're making enough, and then with sewer, with our big customer, making sure that we have them locked in too. So
Well, if you'd like
I would ask to
to,
hold that probably till May.
if you'd like to merge right into your administrator report, and then Don after that.
Yeah, I'll be super quick. We have construction moving here, and we just sort of mentioned just before that.
I'll go get the coffee.
Yeah. That we've got, a lot of training going on at the treatment plant, right in line with when we wanna try to get our guys out there more, because winter sort of broke, so. I do appreciate the support with seeking out the dump truck. I think that's gonna help quite a bit, and the yard waste site we did open up on April 1st.
Huh.
We are selling the dollar tags. People are supposed to hang on their mirrors, and we are installing cameras so that we can watch that, because
When?
when we get the commercial dumpers,
Oh, you
Yep.
got cameras out there?
it'll be by the end of the month. They'll be up
Okay.
and fine tuned and running and everything, because we've been out there sort of surveying the scene.
And
You
warning.
may see some of the concrete barriers moved around in strategic locations, and trust that they are very strategic
There'll be a
locations.
information sign indicating cameras
Yes.
present, all
Yep.
that. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
Yeah, it's kind of covers pretty much everything that we've got. The treatment plant training is a big thing for probably the rest of the next 2 weeks. Pretty much everything that was put in there is getting started up. They anticipate, substantial completion is April 30th, so that's when essentially all the treatment plant things are done. The rest of the project is then pavement, curb, landscape. So next couple weeks are gonna be pretty busy for us in the Public Works Department. Probably we're definitely gonna have to get a load of cold patch in and start filling potholes. I know we talked about that last month.
Yeah, the traditional one down on South and,
Yeah, and the
Elizabeth,
ones
is it?
over by the post office on Wisconsin, and there's a few traditional potholes that pop up every year. So yeah, with the weather breaking kind of this week, it looks like we'll be able to get out there and get some of the stuff done now that it's maybe stopped snowing.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
So that's pretty much what we got.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
Only other things, such matters as authorized by law, anything?
Nope.
Otherwise, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second that. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
8:34.